We give you the facts, it's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I think? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
People of Center, St. Mary and surrounding.
Yeah, watch Popeyes, mama.
Here is
Where I watch?
Popeye.
are you on exactly? If you are,
Greetings viewers and subscribers. Princess Bethany, you're living in London, England, and you're celebrating your birthday today. Your aunt Janice, your cousin Mahalia, your grandma Zona, your mom Petal, and your sister Lauren. They're all asking us to wish you a happy birthday today. Princess Bethany, let's hope that today you had a wonderful birthday and may you live to see enough more. First up, many persons might have seen this video before, but I'm going to be showing it again for a reason. In the video, a nurse employed to the Port Maria Hospital in St. Mary, she went into a store to buy something when tragedy struck. She collapsed and fell to the ground, and that was it for her. Most likely, she had a cardiac arrest. Almost 400,000 people die from cardiac arrest yearly in the United States of America. Now, if you watch the video carefully, many persons they try to help, or I should say, they did what they thought was best to help. But if you notice, none of them applied CPR, and the truth is, they did not apply CPR because they simply don't know how to apply it. CPR means cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's an emergency life-saving procedure performed when the heart stops beating. Immediate CPR can double or triple chances of survival after someone has had a cardiac arrest. I am calling on the Ministry of Education to make CPR. Well, I am calling on the ministry to make first aid a part of high school curriculum. First aid to include CPR should be taught in every high school in Jamaica. I am sure that if this is done, it would make things much easier for the public health sector. Do you agree or do you agree? Minister of Education, please partner with the Health Ministry and make this happen. Condolences to the nurse family, her friends and her co-workers. May her soul find rest. In the news today, detectives at the Westmoreland Siswoka office, they have arrested and charged Floyd Haywood, but he's popularly known as Rasta. Rasta is a 44-year-old bike taxi operator and he's living at Rayon River in the parish of Westmoreland. The allegation is that on Friday night, November 1, about 10 o'clock, a 17-year-old student, she took Rasta's bike to go home. On reaching a section along the roadway, Rasta, he stopped the bike, pulled a knife and put it to the female's neck, threatening to kill her. He then forcefully had intercourse with her against her will. A report was made to the police, who commenced investigations. Rasta, he was picked up by the police and pointed out on an identification parade. He was officially charged by the police yesterday, so he'll be going to the courts shortly. In this next report, early Monday morning, January 6, about 2 o'clock, a team of police officers, they were on patrol in the Ocherayos area of St. Ann when they received intelligence that hoodlums, they were trying to break into the Real Vybes bar at Coconut Grove in Ocherayos. The officers, they went to the scene, and on their arrival, 2 hoodlums were seen with tools in hands trying to break into the bar. On seeing the police, they ran off. The police gave chase and one of them escaped. They held the other one. His name is Joseph Curry. He is 31 years old and he's living at Civil Heights in the Sentence Bay area. Joseph, he was held with a steel cutter. The hoodlum who ran away, he had dropped a claw bar that was recovered by the police. When the police made checks on the bar, it was realized that Joseph and his crony, they had cut away and opened the grill. The owner for the bar was alerted and Joseph Curry, he was charged by the police. We are told that the police, they are trying to find his crony. So, Joseph, he'll be going to the courts shortly. Officers, job well done. In this next report, on Sunday morning, January 5, a man, he's popularly known as Mr. T. He's living in the parish of Hanover. Mr. T, he journeyed all the way to the parish of Senton to go and buy a cow. Mr. T, he met up with the guy who was supposed to be selling him the cow at Brownstown. That guy and another guy who was with him, they then journeyed with Mr. T to a district named Keith District where they said the cows were. On arriving at Keith District, the other guy who was with the purported cow seller, he pulled a gun and juked down Mr. T. He then proceeded to rob him of 100,000 Jamaican dollars in cash that he had brought to buy the cow. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. Why me I tell you, Mr. T, me I tell you the truth. You see, if I ever say what is on my mind, Mr. T, anyhow, this next robbery, it took place after 12 midnight yesterday, Wednesday, January 3. Our information is that a taxi driver in his mid-30s, he picked up a female in his white 2017 Toyota Probox motor car with license plate number PQ 1531 and dropped her at her home at West Bay in Portmore. He dropped her off and as he was about to drive off, he was held up by 3 hoodlums who were traveling on foot. One of them was armed with a gun. They proceeded to rob him of his Toyota Probox and other valuables. They then drove away, making good their escape. Just like that. This next incident, it took place yesterday afternoon, Wednesday, January 8, at minutes after 3 o'clock. It took place at Walkerswood in the Ochereus area of Senton. Our information is that a man, his name is Richard Johnson. Richard was a 44-year-old farmer living in the Walkerswood area. We are told that Richard, he was on his farm cutting down a tree when the worst happened. The tree that Richard was cutting down, it fell on him, killing him on the spot. Just like that. Boy, may I tell you, sad indeed. This next incident, it took place yesterday morning, Wednesday, January 8, about a few minutes after 10 o'clock. It took place along the Catherine Hall Main Road in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. Our information is that a man, he was driving a white international motor truck along the road when a lady, her name is Mrs. Eugenie Williams. She celebrated her 74th birthday on Christmas Eve just gone, December 24. Mrs. Williams, she was in the process of crossing the road from the side of the Catherine Hall housing scheme over onto the Megamart side when she was hit by the truck. Mrs. Williams, she fell to the ground and she was seriously injured. She was rushed to the Cornwall Regional Hospital where she was pronounced DEAD on arrival. Sad indeed. In this next report, now, on Tuesday, I carried a report about a police shooting in the New Hope Red Road area of Little London in the parish of Westmoreland. That incident, it took place Monday night, January 6 at minutes after 10 o'clock. I had reported that as soon as I found out the name of the person who was killed by the police, I would be updating that report. Well, if you look on your screen, those are 2 photos of the guy who was shot and killed by the police. His name is Rayon Russell and he was said to be in his mid-40s. Rayon, he used to live at Felicity Road in Montego Bay in the parish of St. James. In late March 2019, Rayon, he was listed on the Trelawny Police Most Wanted list, and this is why. On Wednesday night, March 20, 2019, at minutes to 10 o'clock, a retired district constable, he was working as a security guard at Juicy Patties on Market Street in Falmouth. His name is Mr. Albert George Mowatt, but he was popularly known as Stewie. Stewie, he was born on October 27, 1942. He was almost 77 years old at that time. Stewie, he used to work as a district constable in the parish of Trelawny and he lived at Rock District. So while Stewie was on duty at the Juicy Patties, he was armed with his licensed .38 revolver loaded with 6 live rounds when a silver 2011 Toyota Axio motor car with license plate number 1236BX drove up and stopped in close proximity to the Juicy Patties, and it was being driven by that hoodlum on your screen, Rayon Russell. Rayon's 2 cronies who were armed with guns. They jumped out of the Axio and ran into the Juicy Patties, where one of them held on to Stewie. A tussle ensued and the hoodlums, they shot Stewie and took away what they came for, his licensed gun. They then ran and jumped back into the Toyota Axio. As they were jumping in the car, a police unit was out on patrol and the police saw them entering the car. Rayon, he put on flashing lights and pressed gas. The police chased them and the hoodlums in the car, they opened gunfire at the police, but we are told that due to the crowded street, the police, they did not return the fire. None of the police officers were hit, but the hoodlums, they ended up shooting a 45-year-old lady who was walking along the sidewalk. She survived, but 76-year-old Mr. Albert George Mowatt, also known as Stewie, he died as a result of being shot. The hoodlums, they managed to elude the police, but the car, it was later found crashed and abandoned along the Granville Main Road in Trelawny. Remember, I told you that it had an license plate number 1236BX. The correct license plate was found in the car. They were using a fictitious license plate. The car was owned by a man living at Bogo Estate in Montego Bay. Rayon, he had run away leaving his driver's license in the car. So, following police investigation, Rayon Russell, he was placed on the Trelawny Police Most Wanted list. He was wanted for murder plus other charges. In September 2019, Rayon, he was arrested and charged by the police for murder plus other gun-related offenses. He was in custody for a while until he was granted bail by a judge in court. We are told that Rayon is from a place named Strawberry District in Westmoreland, but when he picked up his bail, he went to live in the Withorn or Darliston area where he continued with his hoodlum activities. On Monday night, January 6, Rayon, he was in a Mazda motor car and the police, they had received intelligence that they were on their way to the Negril police area to create mayhem. The car was intercepted by the police and in the end, Rayon, he was shot and killed by the police and a Kel-Tec 9mm pistol with the serial number intact, affixed with a magazine containing 3 9mm rounds were found. Another hoodlum bites the dust. This next incident, it took place yesterday afternoon, Wednesday, January 8, about 12:30. It took place along Marley Avenue in the Old Harbour area of St. Catherine. Our information is that a guy, his name is Warren Ingram, but he was popularly known as Bobo. In 2 days' time, on Saturday, January 11, Bobo, he would be celebrating his 26th birthday. He was a sound system selector living in the area. We are learning that yesterday afternoon. Bobo, he was standing in a board shop talking to someone when a hoodlum walked up with a gun in his hand. The hoodlum, he opened gunfire hitting Bobo to his upper body. Bobo, he fell to the ground and the hoodlum, he ran away making good his escape. Family members, they rushed with Bobo to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced DEAD on arrival. The police, they were called, and when they processed this crime scene, 2 spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, if you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button as also. Hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you'll be one of the first to be notified. In the final report for today, you might have seen the videos circulating. Face shut off, etc. That incident, it took place last night, Wednesday, January 8th at minutes to 10 o'clock. It took place at McBride Hill in the Central Village area of St. Catherine. Our information is that residents of the area, they heard gunshots being fired. When the smoke was clear, they went and made checks. A guy named Mathew Smith, he is also known as Cool J. He was 20 years old and he lived at Thomas Lane in Central Village. Cool J, he was seen on the outside of the house in a sitting position with his face shot off by a rifle. He also had gunshot wounds to his upper body. Jahiem Ferguson, also known as JayJay, he was seen lying on his back inside the house with gunshot wounds to his head and his chest, while his brother Giovanni Ferguson, also known as Gio. Both Gio and JayJay, they lived at the house. Gio, he was found lying in another room in the house with gunshot wounds to his upper body. All 3 of them, they died on the spot. The police, they were called, and when they processed this crime scene, 27 M16 and 8 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them no out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when me turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cans and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica.